Hey, what's up, 745ers? Sky in the ceiling. How you feeling, Katie?
I'm feeling heavenly.
Heavenly, nice. I'm feeling gorgeous. Kate, Katie and I just found some like elite lighting. Not right now, but like a second ago. The only issue is there's like a white line right through
Yeah.
it. But maybe we'll film some TikToks and you'll see this elite line lighting. And it's funny. They actually used to call me Elite Lightning back in the day because I was so fast. No,
Now,
that's not
now
true.
they're liars and gorgeous.
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Anyways, guys, so today we're talking about creative fulfillment. Why is it important to have creativity in your life? Why is it important for creativity to exist? Period.
Oh,
What's the haps, Katie?
Rosebud thorn at first, though.
Sure. Do you want to go first? You want
Yeah.
to go first?
My rose is that weirdly, like this week before these 2 weeks before like finals really start have been just work blocks every single class for every single day, and I'm kind of this is like
Loving
the
it.
best 2 weeks of school. Yeah, and I really like my English project right now on how ghost stories can be written and survive in a country, which is Italy, that is so for religion and against ghostly like happenings. So I'm really excited about that from school. I'm feeling very academic-y.
Nice.
How
Very
about
cool.
you? What's your rose?
Nerd. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. My rose is I just recently bought a new pair of shoes and proud of myself not only for making some money.
That's what helped.
As Katie, sure, she did help me.
Where'd you buy the shoes from?
I actually got them from Nordstrom, but they're Adidas. So.
But Nordstrom carries Adidas. It's almost better than just Adidas. Nordstrom's a $1 million company.
Maybe. The only issue is I just never, whenever I go into the Adidas store, especially at the mall that's closest to me, I never, like, they have a very little selection because it's kind of a small Adidas. But
the Nordstrom is a department store, so it has a big,
anyways, so that was my rose. And I've had my old shoes for like a bajillion years now. So it's time for some new shoes. Anyways, my bud is I'm gonna be turning another age. It's my birthday.
10 days!
In 10 days. I was trying to think of some fancy way to say it, but I didn't want to dox my age and myself and whatnot.
Sweet 16.
Just say it in front of the world, I guess. Anyways, and Thorn is, unlike Katie, these 2 weeks have just been kind of like boring for me because I kind of just want to get finals over with and start the summer.
Okay, my bud is that I'm going to the New York Times this summer, and I'm very excited. And my thorn is that I haven't been sleeping very well, and I don't really understand why, because I've been doing everything I should be doing to get a restful night's rest, but I haven't been feeling rested, so kind of sad about that.
Yeah, last night I got awful sleep, and I think it was because of that pastrami sandwich.
Oh yeah, because if you eat late at night, you're gonna sleep worse.
Yeah.
Last night, Zach and our friend, we went to the mall and we got this pastrami sandwich. It was so good, but it was such a heavy meal. It was like not good. Yeah. Anyways, Ramir, I have money.
Okay, what is it?
Thoughts on modern art, abstract art that like could sell for like $10 million, but it looks like you could do it yourself.
That's a great question. Okay, so my thoughts. I haven't looked into it too much, particularly because just at first sight, I wasn't super interested in it. But I feel like now the purpose of that is like it's supposed to be so abstract that it's not supposed to. It's like it's not supposed to give you ideas. You're supposed to come up with ideas because you're looking at it.
Yeah.
So it's which is art. I understand. Not my cup of tea, perchance, but I get it. One of my teachers actually put it kind of well. He was like, the reason why like someone can put like 3 strokes on a canvas and sell it for $1 million is because like it's just so perfect. They do those 3 strokes just so perfectly, and then it like makes perfect sense. Like this is how a stroke is supposed to be done, and just this is like what happens when you do the perfect stroke. And so that in the sense like because like your brain is like some things are just it's naturally tuned to some things that they like it likes it more than others,
right?
And by just like seeing those 3 strokes and like getting that sensation from it, it's just 3 strokes,
but it still gives you that like
but it gets exactly so maybe that's my take on it. Do you have a take?
My take is not as kind as yours. I'm not like it's not my cup of tea at all, and it kind of sometimes I feel a little bit like it's just like lazy. But like I understand why it's not like it's like perfect or whatever. I don't know. My cup of tea personally is like the art that takes time and is like crazy detailed and is more realistic. And I mean, like people like love surrealism art too, and I understand that even more than understanding like abstract art. Like sometimes when I just look at a circle, it's not really provoking me. But yet again, I didn't learn art history, so I don't know what it represents or whatever. But for me, just like from an outside point of view, it's not my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Completely. Uh, my rapid fire is, what is your creative outlet? Just throw your whole water bottle at me at this point.
Yeah, that's free to me. A creative outlet.
Yeah.
I paint a lot and I like painting. I also have been writing more essays and I think it's not much of a creative outlet so much as like a thought outlet. But like I guess you do have to be creative with your words
Yeah, that's
sometimes.
creative.
Yeah. So and I guess if you look at normal things like when you put on clothes, you have a creative outlet. When you put
Yeah,
on makeup, it's a creative outlet. But but like a real like creative outlet, like I like to paint a lot.
that's super cool.
And you?
Mine is definitely like making music, or there's making playing music and also making music. Both of those bring me lots of joy. But I am trying to start to get into drawing because I've never been good at it. So I want to step out of my comfort zone and my box
Also,
and learn how to draw more.
shout out if you haven't seen our episode on music and what music can do for your life, you should go watch it. We did it with two musical guests,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that discussion.
Discussion.
What like explain more about your creative outlet and like why do you think it's important, etc.
Okay. So why do I think it's important is because I think okay, so here, you guys are gonna have to hold on for a second. Try not to have your mind explode.
Okay.
So I think that in creativity, there is no such thing as perfection. And so everyone can try and go as close to perfection or as far away from it as possible.
Mhm.
And where you are on that sort of spectrum is kind of defines who you are as a person.
Mm,
And so obviously this goes in like 100 different ways, right?
yeah.
And so just people are everywhere, and that's kind of just like what makes us different. And the cool thing is the more creative you are, notice how I say creative and not like striving towards perfect or not,
Right.
like because that's just what creative is.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes you who you are. And so why I think creativity is so important is because if you really want to develop yourself as a person and understand what your true values are and core values are,
Right.
you gotta like really make the decisions for yourself and sort of eliminate other outside influences and use your own personal experiences.
Wow, my brain exploded.
Sorry, just
And
doing my job.
yeah, that was actually a
But
very good thought. And like I think
thank
that
you.
I agree with that completely. I also think like on a more practical sense, having a creative outlet is very important and when you live in such a stressful world
That
and
too, yes.
yeah, especially for teenagers, we're all working hard for college, working hard for school. We have a billion responsibilities that we're actually kind of new to and that we didn't have to do when we were 4 and 5. And like when you're 4 and 5, you think about it like you did a lot of painting,
More than
think-
4 and 5.
or yeah, just like
Probably
a
like
lot
10.
of yeah, all the way up to like really like maybe even middle school. Like you do so much creative work, and then it kind of gets like taken away from you because you get so busy. And I think it's
Mm.
important that we bring that back into our lives, even if it's not like demanded of us, like the way we used to have it like at school and stuff. Just because it gives you like time to think and like it forces you to be to slow down. It's
Yeah.
very hard to do. Like I realize like, it's very hard to do art when you're trying to go fast and just move through it, whatever. I finished all my paintings that are required in my art class, and those took the whole entire school year. And then I get to do one extra one that I had to do like a day or something. And you really can't rush through it. I mean, they look so bad, and I didn't even like focus on it very hard. And so, yeah, I just think it's like a great way to like slow down your life and actively like when you mix a pot of water
Mhm.
and you like stick the wooden thing into the water and the water like stops. Have you ever seen that phenomenon?
I have no idea what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so okay, when you like mix up a thing of water, it keeps going in like a tornado
Circle,
situation,
yeah.
right? But then this phenomenon is that if you stick your wooden spoon directly in the middle of the tornado of water, it'll just stop. I can't believe you haven't seen this. I'll show you.
Huh, okay.
But that's kind of like what painting does for me. Like my life is constantly moving very quickly a lot, but then art will like purposely slow it down, and I think that's really good. I paint a lot. I could put some pictures. Yeah, and I do it through art class because they just have unlimited paintbrushes and paint. But it's very good for the soul.
Yeah, that's something I'd want to try is painting. For me, my wooden spoon to the tornado is definitely guitar, because I've gotten to a point where it's like the fingers kind of just move on their own,
Right.
and it's like fun because like you said, my mind can shut off, but my ears will turn on even more.
I love
So
that.
I'll just like I'll hear it ring out,
Right.
especially like with my like classical guitar. It's like very
It's like
acoustic.
therapeutic.
Yeah, and it's very echoey and stuff, and so I'll play it, just sort of strum the chord so you can just hear it, and maybe I'll go to the next chord. And it's like it's like sound therapy.
Yeah, that's amazing. So there's many different types of way you can have a creative outlet. There's painting, there's drawing, there's music and guitar, there's writing in a journal, there's
Speaking, acting, dancing.
yeah, dancing. We dance party
We
all
do
the
dance
time.
party all the time.
There's so many ways you can be creative and just like let your mind be like be free. I don't know, like
Yeah.
we're like constrained to so many like doing math, like no hate on math or like not even like no hate on history. Like sometimes these things we do are very constrained. Like there's a way to think, there's a way to do things. But when you do art, it's just like literally letting your mind run in a field and do whatever it wants and just like express yourself. So yeah, I think it's really
Yeah.
important.
And I think that's also one thing I appreciate about our school is, I mean, I guess maybe not math because it's kind of more difficult too, but in history, you're required to do creative aspects in it. Like we had a podcast assignment where we had to pretend we were time travelers and go back. So these whole new creative aspects of the project, like accents,
Yeah.
discussion and theme music and all these sort of things that are now big players in it. And that's something I can appreciate.
Yeah, and like I guess like adding creative side when you think of creative and you get like to be more creative in a history project, for example, it's more fun or whatever. And Zach and I just talked about this on the other podcast episode that we just filmed. When you want to do something that you don't quote unquote want to do, pairing it with something fun, pairing it with something creative makes it a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, creativity is a great way to add some happiness, add some heavenly gorgeous energy into your life. Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, I would say explore, like I said earlier, even if you're not good at something doesn't mean you can't be like creative at it.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And so I would say explore all different types of creativity, especially ones you're not comfortable with, because I feel like that's part of creativity is taking risks. Oh, sorry, Julio. Julio, my dog, is right here. But yeah, I think that's a big part of creativity is taking risks and enjoying yourself and loving the process, but also the destination at the same time. And yeah, it's a big process.
Yeah, great way to close that out. You don't have to be perfect at it.
Yeah.
But just try it. Follow the 745 podcast on Instagram and TikTok and the Group Project on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Bye.